How are we doing, guys? Apologies for a slight delay there in starting. A couple of troubles just setting up. But anyway, guys, this is the fans' post-match reaction. And yeah, look, it's frustrating, isn't it? Tottenham 2, Leeds United 1. But I thought we played okay today. I really did think we played okay. I thought first half was one of our best halves of the season by far against a really good Tottenham team. But ultimately, when you face a team of high quality, if you don't finish the game like we could have done in that first half, unfortunately, that's what happens. I don't know. I don't know whether to be disappointed, upset, or happy with the performance. I'm not sure. I think we're still in that early stage of the season where we've still got 2/3 of the season to go. A couple of comments coming in at the door. Says my man FM Pallet, my man Michael 20. Very proud, mate. And yeah, to be honest, large spells in that first half. I was really proud. Second half, you know what? The goals were unlucky, weren't they? I know it might seem to be something to say quite a lot, but we were very unlucky with both goals, especially that second one, the deflection from a free kick. It happens, doesn't it? And it just had to happen today. And I think when you're down there, that's what happens, isn't it? I don't know. It's just, as soon as it went to 1-1, I had a bad feeling. I did have a bad feeling on the game as soon as it went to 1-1. But, you know, it's just frustration, you know. It's just frustration that, you know, and I will say it's a good Spurs team. You know what? I will say it's a good Spurs team. And I think if we played that game 2 weeks before Conte had arrived, I don't think they come back. I really don't think they come back at 1-0. I think they're gone at that point. You know, before Conte comes in, the crowd has started to turn. They're booed off at half time. You know, it's just so frustrating because it's just not going our way at this moment in time. It's just not going our way. Obviously, Raf not on the pitch, Rodrigo not on the pitch, a big factor as well. So I'm not having any big overreaction to that. Yes, we have dropped points today. Yes, we've dropped down to 17th, but one of those things, isn't it? One of those things. But guys, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done already. And I'm going to put the link out now anyway for people to join straight away. No Scott today. So yeah, I'm going to put the link out straight away in the YouTube community page if you guys do want to join. Bear with us 1 second, guys. Any members, if you do want to join, please do. Apologies, this is a bit of a weird structure to this video. It's just I'm still flabbergasted how we were so out of luck today. But a lot of positives. I think the goal we scored today, fantastic goal. Really, really good goal and some really good individual performances today. You know, it's not just, sorry guys, just get this link put out for members. Right, so you guys should be able to see that now on the YouTube community page, if you can check that out, guys. Yeah, let's get some comments in now. Let's get some comments in. Yeah, as you can probably tell, John, I'm gutted as well. And then, yeah, the results obviously went against us too, but yeah, we're still in it. If we're talking about being down there, we're still in an okay position in that kind of sense. But we'll keep pushing on. Let's just get a couple more comments in. Matt Sweeby, one good half, one poor one. All while missing a ton of players isn't the end of the world. Need to start getting results soon enough. Soon though. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That's totally my feeling on it as well. Wow, a lot of you have joined here. I'm just going to let's get one more comment in. Let's get one more comment before I let my first guest come in. It's the usual legendary faces in my in there anyways. But John H, lots of positives, but Click looks done. He's offering nothing. I thought Click was, to be honest, I was surprised Click went off. I didn't think Click was that bad, to be honest. I thought him and Forshaw did a really good job in midfield. Maybe Forshaw more so, but I didn't think that was a particularly poor Click performance. I thought we had complete control in midfield, and you can't just control the game with one midfielder. You need your whole midfield to work together. So I personally thought Click was, at the very least, okay today. Or certainly much better than what recent performances have been from Matthijs Click. That's just my personal opinion. I am sometimes seen as a very positive towards Matthijs Click, but I actually thought Click was okay. Nowhere near what Forshaw was, but I still thought he was okay personally. And Tash and Reckon and my man John will be joining soon. But we have got 3 guests there. I'm going to let the first one who joined within seconds, and we put the link out. It is my man Sam.
Hello.
How are we, mate? How are we?
I'm good. Fucking gutted, but we almost won. It was narrow, and I'm back at home, so I got good Wi-Fi this time. So
love that.
Yeah, so well, never mind.
But yeah, mate. First half, I thought genuinely superb. I would genuinely use the words superb the first half from us. And if a Rafinha and Rodrigo had been on the pitch, we probably would have had the game finished. I think in certain spells.
I reckon, first half all stems from midfield and the first 5-8 minutes where it was just full on attack. We get the ball immediately, go off and have them have them pin back right in their half. That rallies us up and we fucking go for them. And they can't deal with it and they don't press. So we control the midfield and they couldn't deal with us. And it was like that pretty much the whole first half. Even when they rallied, we still were like, all right, you're coming back in, but I can have a piece of you. And we controlled how they were attacking, so they weren't really all that dangerous, apart from a couple of elements. And we dominated first half. Second half was a little bit different because they got the attack in right at the start because Phillips misjudges the header. That's the thing. We were kind of relying on him in defence, and because he takes a little bit more time to grow into the game, that gives Spurs a chance. And then we get 10-15 minutes in attack, but because they started off in the second half with an attack, that brings them into the game. So I think if Phillips doesn't misread the header, you could be talking about a bit of a different second half. But listen, Tottenham are 7th. We gutted that we didn't win against Tottenham, who were one of the big spenders. So I thought we did fucking brilliant, especially in the first half. And we only started to tire when Forshaw, who was fucking legendary at dominating, started to tire, and when Phillips started to tire. So there's good things to take out of it, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just my frustration is purely on the result. The fact that it wouldn't have even bothered me that much if we lost the game 2-1 and it had been for an absolutely wonderful piece of magic from Son or something. And you think, there's nothing you can do about that. But the fact that the way the goals went in,
unlucky, didn't we?
It's just the other way. We couldn't do anything about either goal. We were just. It's just so. Højbjerg doesn't even celebrate because he knows he's scuffed the shot that much. Yeah. If he did it properly, it's going straight at Meslier, isn't it? But yeah. And then the second goal, when you know he looks out. Injuries, goals like that going into the back of the net. But I think in terms of moving forwards, obviously. Brighton's going to be difficult next week. Yeah. There's no doubt about that, Sam. But then obviously Palace, difficult again, and Brentford. But they're more winnable games, I'd say. Certainly on paper,
definitely.
Would you say?
And here's the thing. A team above us is Watford, who are only 2 points off us. Team below us are Burnley, who are 2 points off us. And they play Tottenham next. They have to get a win if they want to get out the relegation zone. All we need against Brighton is a draw. And even then, Brighton and Crystal Palace are going to be hard, but they're still winnable games. So as long as we get something above a draw, that's all we need to stay out the relegation zone. And Brighton, they're going to be tough, but it is winnable, especially on the back of the first half performance. So definitely positives.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I thought we did a really good job on Kane and Son. Personally, I actually thought both players were quiet for a lot of the game. If I'm being totally honest,
Phillips fucking had his number the entire time, as fucking he could do.
Totally, and that doesn't change just because they won the game. The fact still remains that we coped with their 2 most dangerous players really well. When I think a lot of people were worried in that kind of sense. But yeah, look, I've seen this comment a couple of times since the game in terms of Brighton seeming to have our number, but. I just think that's the nature of the league. There's teams that sometimes you have a better record than you should do, and then other way around. But I think there's been a couple of those this season where we kind of broke the curse both ways, really, where we've had a good record against teams and then dropped points against them. I think Burnley, we've beaten Burnley in every game under Bielsa, then we dropped points against them, and then against, in terms of not being able to win in London, other different bits and pieces. Norwich we had a poor record against, we beat them the other week. So I'm not too worried about that in terms of the record against them. I think Brighton have dropped off a little bit in recent weeks and obviously got beat on the weekend to Villa. So, yeah, I do think we can go into that Brighton game with confidence, Sam.
Yeah, we'll just have to see whether Rafinha and Bamford are here. But even if they're not, Forshaw and Gelhardt both did fucking brilliantly. So even if Rafinha and Bamford aren't ready, I reckon you can still play Forshaw and Gelhardt and all the rest of it and still have a very good team which could take it to them. So I'm confident. I reckon we can do good against Brighton. They're a good team, but I'm confident.
I think it's worth mentioning as well, Sam. I thought, in terms of Harrison's been a player that's come in for a lot of criticism in the last couple of weeks, does brilliantly on the goal. I thought it was a really good. I thought, to be honest, he had the beating of Emerson Royale at right wing back throughout the game. James gets himself that first goal. It was a goal and assist in his last 2 games. More productivity from him, getting more shots on target as well. I thought it was good. I thought it was a really good sign from on both sides of the pitch.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I last time against Leicester, I said that he needs to be dropped, which was a fucking stupid call.
No,
but he did
really. Everyone was saying that.
He did really good to just outmuscle Emerson Royale, get it in, and then Dan James with his pace just puts it in the back of the net. Job was a good one. But the thing with Harrison was he puts the work in. It's just his decision making and confidence, and now he set that goal up, so his confidence will be up there and he'll be able to build on. And I still think he made a few mistakes, but what was a lot better was setting up, decision making, and he still put in the work rate that he'd been doing before. So overall, just a better performance from him. That was good.
I totally agree. And to be honest, I think defensively we're coming for criticism in the last couple of weeks, but the whole season, if we're being totally honest, we're coming for criticism. But I genuinely think we defended as well as we possibly can against Tottenham with the players they've got, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a little bit desperate in the second half, but they only won 2-1, and from two scabby goals. So I thought we did well. It was fucking...
I thought that was the only way they could beat us, Sam, to be honest, in terms of getting a goal. Either a moment of absolute magic from Son or Kane or something like that. I thought, and unfortunately, it was the latter.
Yeah, but first half, we completely controlled their attack and they weren't dangerous. Second half, it was fucking all hands on deck, really, really desperate, but we kept it out. We did fucking brilliantly. It was great. It's just unfortunate Cooper just leaves a leg out and concedes a free kick at the worst time, but he still had a great game because he stopped a couple goals going in as well. So it was just a great performance by everyone. We just kind of ran out of steam in the second half. Didn't really get going, but oh well.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it a case of running out of steam, or did Tottenham improve? I think there's a lot of different things myself. In terms of, I think a big thing I'd say is, Sam, that Conte gave him a rollicking at half time. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. I think maybe it's kind of a bit of all three, really. One, Forshaw starts getting tired, and so we start, and that combining with the fact that Conte gave him a rollicking and Phillips takes a little bit to get going means we're not as in control of midfield as we were. And then, secondly, Forshaw gets tired, which was the major thing. We had to take him off, and Firpo isn't as good. Firpo and Roberts aren't as good at dominating the midfielders.
What did you think of Firpo when he came on? I mean, I thought it was a difficult time for him to come on in the game. I understand we had to make the change. We did have to make the change, but it's not an ideal stage to come on at. Just that they've scored.
Yeah. It wasn't an ideal time for him to come on, but I thought he did a little bit shit, to be honest. I get why we signed him, and he's got potential, but he didn't really do all that well. I mean, you saw there were quite a few times where they just got past him, doesn't really do all that well, and then at the start he was the only one who was. There was that I don't know who it was. There was that Spurs player. He goes up and says hello. I'm not gonna hold him to the sword for that. It's fair enough, but he could have done a bit better. Could Firpo. Sums up his season, really.
Would you start him against Brighton? I mean, instead just to have a natural left back playing left back against Brighton, or would you still stick Pascal at left back? Assuming Firpo gets back to full match fitness in time for Brighton.
Yeah, It'd be good. It'd be a good game to start him at left back. Pascal's been doing good, mind, though he made a couple of mistakes, but he's been doing good. But I think Firpo's a natural left back, and it'd be good to see more of what he could do against a team like Brighton. So it'd probably be a good game for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And can we talk about Melié's save from Kane, 1-on-1? Unfortunately, it led to nothing, but what a save that was. 1-on-1, he dominated it, didn't he?
Yeah, he made a few good saves. I mean, Meslier, he's just been class, hasn't he? He's been fucking great. Good old Meslier.
Good old Meslier, good old Meslier. Anyone else stand out to you, Sam, mate? You know, in terms of from match starting 11, or maybe you came on?
I think, well, pretty much the whole team had a fucking legendary performance, to be fair. But Roberts, he still has that problem with his decision making, Donny. We're not really using him in the right way. But generally, I think everyone had a really good game. So, but
Yeah.
𝐁𝐋𝐃𝐂𝐊, I'm gonna mention 𝐁𝐋𝐃𝐂𝐊 specifically because Dallas, you expect he's doing better and back up to what you expect, but 𝐁𝐋𝐃𝐂𝐊, he hasn't really been played much, and he's looking really, really good. He was going out there for challenges. He was really active. Unfortunately, he got the yellow card, and so had to step back a bit. But you like to see that. You like to see that from a Leeds debutant.
He's a battler, isn't he?
Yeah. So I thought everyone did good, really. So yeah,
I agree. I think every area of the pitch we were good. Like, you know, midfield, defence, going forward, we were creating chances. It just couldn't put it in the back of the net at times, and it's just it's where everything that could have gone wrong for us today. And I've said this a couple of times this season. Did go wrong for us. Did go totally wrong for us, didn't it? But we'll move on, Sam. We'll move on. But any thoughts going into that Brighton? Well, the next couple of games. Any thoughts going into them? Are you confident? Brighton away, Palace at home, Brentford at home. What's your points target from that?
Let's see. Brentford are good, so I'd say I'd take a draw against them. But Brighton and Crystal Palace, they'll both be tough games, mind. So even against, I'd take a draw against Brighton. I'd take a win against Palace, and Brentford I'd take a draw against, because all we need against Brighton's a draw to make sure that Burnley don't overtake us, and then we can go on and get good results against Palace and hopefully summit against Brentford. And because it's only one win and we're up to 14th, depending on how Watford do. And I think Watford are playing Tottenham, the same Tottenham who we've just played. And so if they lose or get a draw, they're even closer to us and we can overtake them. So Brighton, I'd take a draw against them. That's all we need to be safe against Burnley. Palace, we can win. Brentford, we'll see. So it'll be good. Now's when we start climbing the table. So it's good times ahead.
No, I agree. If we get those results, we will climb the table. If we get like 2 wins and that lot, even if we lose one of those games, we're going to climb up the table. That's the thing about being down there. You only need a win or two, and you're straight back up, really. But CK joins us as well, and he looks as frustrated as I am. To be fair, with how did we lose that, Chris? How's that gone away from us, that game?
Lack of depth, simple. Lack of squad depth, mate. I've just been discussing with Love Leeds in the chat about Forshaw because the substitution was wrong but had to be made because Forshaw he certainly looked spent to me, and we can't expect Forshaw currently to have 90 minutes of match fitness in him. And I understand that he played 86 or whatever it was against Leicester, but Calvin played a lot deeper today, which meant Forshaw was doing a hell of a lot more running today than he had to against Leicester.
Yeah.
And just a lack of depth. I mean, who do you bring on to replace him? There isn't anybody that you can replace him with that's going to do a job. I agree with whoever it was earlier. Klich looks done for me. He really does. Roberts is done for me. And I was saying beforehand, I wouldn't mind him coming on at 9 up front, but he's just nowhere. He's just nowhere near. I'm not going to slag them off, but I just think they're done. They've done a good job for the club, getting us part of the squad that got us promoted, but we need to be looking at improving this squad. It's we've got obviously a few out, but we need to have a bit of strength in depth. And if he's got to work with a small squad, which he likes to do, then the players that are on the periphery have got to be better than what we've got. Otherwise, 60 minutes in, team's tiring, and then we get turned over by a squad that's got unbelievable depth. And now we've got a world-class manager in place, will improve. They had their new manager bounce at 45 minutes today. He must have absolutely rattled their cages at half time.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, that's the thing, really. Main problem with Roberts is decision making. He doesn't make the right decisions when he gets up, and it costs us. There were a few that unfortunately got wasted, and the main thing with him is pace, and he has got potential, but the way we're using it at the moment, bringing on to change the game, he can't really do it. We brought him on for Forshaw and it didn't really work. But, oh well. We go against Brighton and we'll see what happens.
I just said in the chat before, I think we'll beat Brighton. Our issue last season with Brighton was the hole in midfield, because Ben White just spent all game running into it. That's closed now with Forshaw there, with Calvin. And I do think we'll go and beat Brighton. I do. There's I'm frustrated from today, but there was a lot of positives. If we can take that intensity and endeavour that we showed, certainly first half and parts of the second half, we weren't atrocious second half. We just ran out of steam by the looks of it. And again, that's where
there were a period at the beginning of it where we had like 10, 15 minutes just consistent attack in their entire half. My dad was saying at that point that, it's going to be same old, we're going to score and Tottenham are going to lose. But we can definitely beat Brighton, and we only need a draw, so it's good times going forward.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think, in all honesty, I think we're in for a battle this season. I think we'll finish above relegation zone for me, but it's going to be a nervous one. It's going to be a nervous one, I think. I think we'll pull away slightly and we'll finish maybe 13th to 15th, something like that, which is all that matters this season, survival. But yeah, just that lack of depth is just really hurting us. And when we've got 2 or 3 of our top players out, it just shows. Can't criticise the endeavour and the way they ran around today, the effort they put in, because I thought first half we made Tottenham look stupid. We really made them look a really poor team. But that's when we've got to. It's all right saying we never beat Brighton. We only played them twice last season.
I was going to say, it's not we won every game against Burnley and dropped points against them. So records are there to be broken.
Yeah, of course they are. Do you know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, it won't be an easy game. Graham Potter has them playing really good football, and they're not a bad side at all. But I just think if we go into it with the same intensity that we did today, then we can go and get the all-important second goal for us. That's our problem. We should have been 2 up, and then that's a different game today. Do you know what I mean? But we're not clinical enough. I thought Dan James that's the Dan James we bought, or we went to sign and paid 25 million for today. I thought he was extremely good. And Jack is back. He looked more like his old self today as well. So plenty of positives there, but I'm just frustrated at the result, mate. Because I thought we deserved a draw at least. Do you know what I mean?
To lose it like that is just the worst way possible to lose it. But Sam, absolute legend coming on again. Absolutely love that. Hopefully, you'll come on next week, Brighton away, and we'll be responding to a Leeds win. That's all we can hope for. And we will do. Sam, I'm going to let you go, mate. Absolute legend as always. We'll see you later, man.
Very quickly, mate. What happened to the Leicester? What happened to the Leicester fan debate? I can't find it on the.
Again, we've had some issues. We've had a couple of videos which have disappeared off the face of the earth. To be honest, we're still trying to work out what's happened. So, guys, actually, that's a very good point Sam's made there. The fans post-match watch along from Leicester and Leeds Lasses. We're trying to work out what's happened. Looks like been taken down by YouTube. I don't know. It's a strange one, but we can't. They're not there. They're not there. So we apologise for that, guys. We have emailed YouTube today just to see what's happened there. Again, as far as we're aware, we've not breached anything, in terms of copyright. Definitely not done that. So we'll try and find out what's happened there, guys. But apologies if we were trying to find that video. Yeah, apologies for that, guys. Anyway, but cheers for reminding me there, Sam, mate.
No worries.
But this one will stay, and you'll be back next week when we beat Brighton.
Aye, good time.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying, man. Have a good week, mate, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Take care. See you later.
See you later, man.
Okay, mate.
So we've got another stalwart of the All ECV fans post-match. It is Michael 20. Looks like he's got a bit more of a change to his studio there. How are we, mate? How are we?
Very well. How's it going, Chris?
Yeah, not bad, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad, thank you.
This crop doesn't do your studio justice. I can see it from here. You got a couple of new shirts around there, a couple of different Leeds shirts. It doesn't do it justice at all, to be fair. But mate,
got Lewis, Kurt, Pedraza, Adrian. Do you remember Adrian?
Adrian.
The best Brazilian that's ever played for us.
Rocker Jr. He's the worst.
Yeah, to be fair, Rocky Jr. has taken that one by quite a distance.
I don't know. I think Adrian's whole legacy is tarnished with his fish impression.
Rocky Jr. got us relegated, man, from the Premier League. He came in as a World Cup winner and he got us relegated from the Premier League. He still takes it. But yeah, the fish impression, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. If that's the first thing we think of when we think of Adrian, which is a bad sign, isn't it? Let's be honest. Doing a fish impression. But Mike, your studio's looking good. Leeds look good at times today, but we lost the game. Why did we lose the game today, mate? For you?
I just think it's bad luck, to be honest. That's what I'm going to put it down to.
I hate saying that as well. I feel like I'm making so many excuses for things, but it was. I know second half we weren't as good, and I don't think anyone would argue that, but it genuinely was bad luck, wasn't it, today? What's Scott doing here? What's Scott doing there? Just so it pop up.
It's coming.
But yeah, mate, I mean, anyone particularly impressed you today, man?
Obviously, Forshaw played well. He's got to get back to his fitness, and like Chris said, it's going to take a long while, isn't it? When you're out for that long, 2 years, it ain't going to come back in like 4 or 5 games, is it? Fitness. I thought KP was brilliant at the back. It's his best game he's played for a long time since for England, so he played really well. Dallas was doing really well, came back, just near his best. Harrison as well, he played really well, and obviously Dan James done really well. His speed, he wasn't just on the right wing, he was like all over the place, so it caused them problems all the time.
No, I agree. I think a lot of players who maybe haven't been so good this season performed today. You know, Harrison, Dallas, James. I think they all delivered today, didn't they, Chris? To be fair, that's one big positive, I guess, of the whole 90.
Yeah, without doubt, mate. I think the front players looked decent today. We saw glimpses of Joffrey, although I think he got eventually sort of bullied out the game a little bit. And also, Pascal was absolutely superb again at left back.
What a block that was on Kane, by the way.
I think we've got our new left back because I really like him there. I think he's quality.
Yeah, he's good. I like Pascal. He's probably one of the better defenders overall. They all played well, but if you're going to shadow one out, I would thought Pascal was one of the better ones.
I thought, him and Coops were our best defenders today. I thought Llorente had a mixed bag. Almost trying too hard at times with those passes. Sometimes he just needs to just lay the ball off. Not every pass has to be a worldie.
It was a bit risky when he doing a bit of his dribbling at the back. So a few hard moments were going.
If Harry Kane could run, we might have been in a bit of trouble once or twice. But I think Kane's that immobile. It didn't kind of matter that much. When Llorente took a heavy touch, it was like Kane was still about 20 yards away from him.
I do agree with this as well, and I think if it was going to be a position he'd play longer term, then we'd have to see if that could be developed. But I prefer my left back to be a solid defensive left back, especially when you've got Jack Harrison on form, because he was getting up and supporting him, which was giving Jack that bit of room. Yeah, his overlaps aren't, and I would imagine his crossing isn't going to be sort of Rafinha-esque, but I like him because he's solid, and I think Cooper likes him next to him as well.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because they're both lefties, aren't they? So it balances
I feel
itself
a
out.
bit sorry for Stuart Dallas at the minute. I've got to say, it's like every game he's playing somewhere different. I know he's a utility man, or we see him as one, but he's got to have a run of games in one position. We can't be expecting him to flip-flop round game by game. No, he's never going to get into a groove. He's looked better recently, of course, far more like himself. But if we want the Stuart Dallas of last season, he's got to be given a run of games somewhere, because it's getting to the point of being a little bit ridiculous now.
Do you think when Aylin's back available, I'll throw this one to Mike first. When Aylin's back available, Shackleton, whoever you want to say it right back, so that Dallas can move back into midfield, would it be a Dallas and Forshaw Phillips midfield for you then, Mike? Would that be what you go with for the time being, and then allow Aylin to go back into right back?
I actually prefer, believe it or not, where Phillips was today in the first half.
Okay.
Within that,
like in the middle of a back three.
Yeah, sweeping up. Because
it works. I mean, first half. I mean, that's for me. That first half is the best. Phillips has been. It's great. Phillips is always great, but I think this is probably his best, certainly best half of the season in terms of that first half. I thought the time he had on the ball. Yeah, I'd agree. I'm not sure. I do personally prefer it when we play a back four to a back three in general. I do think when we've got that back four, you get those overlaps a bit easier. We've got that extra man in midfield. But today, I thought it worked really well, the back three. I thought it was the best we've probably played in the back three for a long time.
And he knocked the ref over. What was even better?
Yeah, big positive. Big positive, because that ref gave that shocking free kick that definitely was a free kick. Well, it was still a shocking free kick that led to the winner. But yeah, it just summed up the game, didn't it? That it was a mad game of footy at the end of the day. But Scott, anyone else impress you today?
Impressed me today. Obviously, Meslier done well as usual, but the rest of the team done well today. I thought the whole team were pretty good. It's probably the most positive I've felt for a long time after a defeat. What was good. So yeah.
Sorry, I've got Scott. Scott is absolutely rattled here. But he's just made loads of changes and then disappeared. I called you Scott then, Mike. Apologies.
I know you did.
He's been flashing up in private chat. He's been flashing up everywhere else. He's changed the whole layout halfway through the video. Apologies for that, Mike. It's he's always on my mind. This Scott. It's that new beard you see. Always on my mind.
Oh dear.
But I mean, do Raf Rodrigo to come back in? You'd assume in that first game back.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me because you can't remember your guests' names.
If he's just here, just to wind me up, he can go for now. I don't know if. Oh my God! I didn't actually mean to go, but he did. He has just gone anyway. Samuel Epstein, absolute legend that we have just had on. It's just lovely that. I love that, my man. Forgot to mention the ref, so I have a super chat to highlights how annoying Andre Mariner is. How is he still getting away with refereeing Leeds games? Yeah, he's not a great referee, is he? Let's be totally honest. He's not a great referee at all. We never ever seem to get anything off him. I'm surprised. Because it was Andre Mariner, that penalty. Did you think it was a penalty that's foul on Son? For you two, I didn't think it was anywhere near a penalty, to be honest.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a handball on Harry Kane either. That his hand was.
No.
We'd be raging if it was the other way around and that had been given. So.
Yeah, but it's Harry Kane, though, isn't it? It would have been funny. It would have been glorious and funny if that had been given.
Yeah.
Well, they're never giving that against the England captain, are they? They're never giving that decision against the Golden Boy, are they? That's my theory.
He's this generation's Frank Lampard, isn't he? FA Golden Boy.
That's it. That's why it definitely wasn't a penalty, but it's still biased against Leeds. I'll find a way to moan about it. I will find a way to moan about it. The Golden Boy, never give anything against him. But yeah, I mean, Mike, obviously going forward, obviously is Brighton away, Palace at home, Brentford at home. What's your kind of points target there?
I'll say 6, depending on who's back. Depending on who we got.
I mean, I think we can get. I think we should be aiming for 2 wins out of that. To be honest, I mean, Chris, I'm not asking you that question. What's your kind of target for that?
7 points.
Yeah. But it'll move us so far clear that just because when you're down there, the teams around us are not going to win the next 3 games. And if they do, they're not going to be down there for long. So we get 7 points, we will be marching well clear, I think, by after that Brentford game, to be totally honest with you. Luke Fisher needs 7 points at least. Yeah, I think we should be aiming for 7 points, to be totally honest with you. I think if we want to move up that table, then yeah, we need to do that, to be totally honest.
Before the deadly December.
Well, that's it. I mean, that is the elephant in the room, isn't it, Mike? That December run, Man City, Liverpool in like a 2-week spell. And there's a couple of really difficult. I think Chelsea in that spell as well, obviously.
Arsenal in there as well, yeah.
Yeah, Arsenal are in there. Yeah, I forgot we've still got Arsenal to play, haven't we?
I'm not too worried about December, and that might sound strange. It's because pretty much as a fan base, we've written off December already. Yeah. So, and it wouldn't surprise me of us to do a very Leeds thing and go and get a couple of sort of big scalps. Do you know what I mean? Especially if we've got players back as well. You know, we'll potentially have a fresh Luke Ayling, a fresh Patrick Bamford. Rafinha will be on fire as he always is. If Forshaw stays fit, we're far more solid in the midfield. Then bring those quality players back in and around Forshaw and Phillips. And I don't think December might be as bad as we're worried about. It could be. We could get absolutely twatted week on week for a month. But I just don't think it might just be as bad as we're up with. Because as a fan base, you see it everywhere online. Everyone's like, oh God, December, we're screwed. We'll be bottom by the end of December. I'm not so sure.
There is a Newcastle in this league, so I'm still confident of that.
See, Arsenal aren't doing that well lately as well, Chris. So we could beat Newcastle at home. I mean, Arsenal at home.
I think we can have a go at anyone. For me, I think, and sometimes it's those games where we thrive most, where nothing's expected of us. Do you know what I mean? All right, this season we've taken a slapping off that absolute joke club over the Pennines, and Liverpool were next level at Ellen Road. I mean, sometimes you just got to sit back and appreciate that you're watching elite level ballers do the thing at the top of the game. But there's always a chance with us that we go out, and if we get off on the right foot, like we did today, but then with a bit more quality back in the side, that we go and pick up a result. You know, we went and beat Man City last season. All right, they had a couple of players out, but we were with 10 men for what was it, about 60 minutes or something, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And we went and beat. So you never know. So, and I think, like you say, we've all written December off, and it could be slightly brighter than what we think it'll be. So you never know with us, do you?
No,
you don't. You really don't.
I was interested in what you said about obviously Roberts and Click sort of done. So would you sell Click in January?
I wouldn't sell him in January because I don't think we'll be bringing enough in to cover. But we do need to bring in still a central midfielder for me, an 8 and 10, not because I think Forshaw in there. We've got to still prove over a number of games that Forshaw can stay fit, but it's looking positive. But we still need someone in that 10 role. I don't like to say his name too much, and Scott's right when he said it the other week, we never replace Saiz. Never mind Pablo. We missed that tricky little player in and around the box. And Saiz could even do little things that Pablo couldn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not degrading Pablo in any way. He's the best player outside of the Premier League era for me that played at Leeds in 16 years. But I think we still need a midfielder. But for Click, I'd be benching him because he's potentially got a goal in him. You know, if we're chasing somewhere and right, let's throw for 20 minutes, he might grab a goal. Tyler, for me, I'm not going to dig the lad out, but
No.
very least, just get him out on loan. I'm not sure anyone would come in with figures to buy him anyway. So push him on loan to the Championship for 6 months, maybe. If we bring a Jonathan Swift in or something like that. Get Tyler, even if you can go and get some confidence in the Championship, score a few goals or whatever.
That's what he needs, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's confidence, isn't it? I think that's the big thing. I mean, obviously people talk about, is Tyler ability-wise, is he a Premier League footballer? That's a different conversation. I think at the moment, no matter what you think of Tyler Roberts, good or bad, confidence-wise, that's the biggest thing for me. That's the biggest problem with Tyler at this moment in time. It's just in terms of...
He's, for me, Oscar, he's one of those players at the minute with his confidence and everything else that he needs to be coming on when we're 2 or 3 up and grabbing the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we're dominating a game, not bringing him on when we're chasing a game.
I think the thing for me would be is when Tyler came on today, did he believe he was going to be he could make the difference and get us back into the game? That's what I'd say. Sometimes I like cricket, but sometimes you get with a bowler where they're having a really bad spell in a test match, and you get to a point where you're thinking, do they actually believe they're going to get the batsman out here? Or are they just trying to keep the score down a little bit, be as economical as possible as the bowling? I know it's a weird comparison, but it feels a bit like that and you see it with not just Tyler, with loads of footballers where you think they get to a point in terms of where maybe they're getting a lot of criticism on Twitter, the modern era fans. Tyler will know the criticism he's getting. Unfortunately, that is the case. It will be being filtered back to him. It's the way the world is now in football. I just think it's got to that point now where his confidence is that low, where I think the fact 𝐃𝐈𝐒 started over Roberts kind of says a lot to me. It's not something Bielsa would never do, really, in all honesty.
He stayed on for quite a while, didn't he?
Yeah, but he'd never do that, though, would he, really, Mike? Unless he either felt 𝐃𝐈𝐒 was really, really, really ready, or Roberts wasn't going to be capable of stepping up. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah,
I think with Roberts is, again, I agree with you wholly, mate, about the confidence thing, and I think it's like that in any profession. Things haven't been going right for a while. You start to doubt yourself. Do you know what I mean? But I think for what he brings at the minute, and this isn't me, and I'm not slagging him off. He's not a game changer at the minute. We might as well be bringing on one of the kids to try and make a difference. A Sam Greenwood or something like that. Because Tyler's only young, but he's been around the first team for a long time. So, whereas the kids who are in the 23s will play with no fear, really. And you never know, a Greenwood might just go, I'm going to have a dip from 25 yards here, fuck it, and then it screams into the top corner. So, I don't know, I just think, as I said when I first jumped on, mate, we just need a bit more quality in what is a small squad. And I'm not sure Tyler brings that at the minute.
No.
Okay. But Mike, I mean, going into that Brighton game, if Rafa, Rodrigo are back available, who comes out for you to make space for those two?
I would say,
I saw a shout to put Jack Harrison at left back after the game, where I thought this might be a bit of a case there. I mean, obviously Pascal's done really well, but to get James, Rafinha, all those players on the pitch at the same time, maybe something to think about.
Yeah, it could be. I don't think you should take James out because he's playing really well at the moment. I would say take Joffrey out, but he has such a good game today. So I would take Joffrey out the firing line just for a little bit.
Okay. And what's put Rodrigo through the middle?
Yeah. And then maybe bring him back in a couple of games later.
I mean, did you guys hear anything about Alton and Marty Adams asked us there? Very, very fair question. Rafinha and Rodrigo might not be back. That's just my assumption they'll be back. But anything about that in terms of is it serious or not? Or
Rafinha's ill. It depends for me whether that illness is COVID. Because if it's COVID, then he's not back.
Because he can't train, can they?
Rodrigo is just a knock, I believe, but so was Bamford.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. So panic then. That's what we're saying here. Panic. No. That's definitely not what we're saying. But hopefully, at least one of them will be back. He's hoping that will improve us. I think.
I think the thing we know with Rafinha is if he's at 75% but available, he will almost demand that he's on that pitch.
Oh yeah, definitely. He probably demanded today.
So it makes me wonder because I was looking around, all the players he flew back with from Brazil. I was like, because Jesus didn't play today for City, but Alisson played for Liverpool. So I was like, I hope it's not a batch of COVID that was on the private jet, but hopefully it's not COVID. I've not seen anything though, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Blame Gabriel Jesus, then I reckon.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, 100%. But before anyone starts going on this Twitter and saying, "Oh, it's your fault," we're not saying that. Before anyone starts doing that, we're not saying that. Mike, absolute legend as always, man. Let us know where can we find you on YouTube and Twitter, man. You are doing really well with your content at this moment in time. Let us know what you're doing.
Yeah, obviously FM Palette doing my Football Manager YouTube channel, and you can find me on all my Twitter handles, Instagram, TikTok, all that malarkey as well.
Love that. I'll leave a link in the description as well. Go and check it out. What are you on now, subs-wise, man?
441.
Okay. So pushing up to 5. That's growing a lot, to be fair, since we last spoke. So fair play, man. Fair play. Let's get Mike up to 500. Smash the subscribe. FM Palette. YouTube it now, or don't YouTube it right now because it'll take you off this stream. But remember, make a note, write it down now. YouTube FM Palette after this game, and hit a subscribe button on that. But mate, I'm gonna let you go. I'll have you back on. Not a problem at all, man. See you later, mate. And another legend of the All ECB post-match streams. It is John. How are we, mate?
Evening, guys. So I'm still a little bit gutted of the result and what have you, because we played very well. There's absolute tons and tons and tons of positives come out. I think it's just the way we kind of we didn't really throw it away. It's just the soft. We've had so many soft goals we've conceded this year. So many soft goals. I think Connor touched upon it in one of his recent videos. There's just so many soft goals. Like for the it's like either deflections, wicked deflections, not really any worldies or anything. It's like deflections coming off somebody's ass or coming off one of our players. Yeah, it's a bit gut wrenching. And then of course it doesn't help. You got the pundits, the usual suspect pundits running their mouths as usual. Think, oh my God, Leeds can't defend. And then, of course, the usual Muppets who, 1 minute when we were winning at half time, they're all, "Oh, we're going for Europe. But now we've lost. It's all, oh, yeah, it's those type of people that just get on your nerves, and you're trying to avoid them. It's like the problem with social media. I don't like social media too much, but the problem is these days you can't avoid it. It's like you do your best to avoid all the negative idiots and all the trolls, bots, etc. They're like unavoidable car crashes. You're bound to run into one at some point or other, and it will affect you. But me, lots of positives.
What an analogy that is. What an analogy that was. That was a bit of a... but... Mate, no, it's fair. No, look, it's been very frustrating. Some of the narratives that have come out, obviously, since the game. Leeds can't defend. I mean, I don't think you'll see many teams around where we are in the table who will defend better against Kane and Son than we did today, to be honest with you. I don't think we've given Kane one chance in the game. Has Son had the shot in the match? I don't think he has. I can't have any criticism in that sense. But who impressed you today, John, first and foremost? I know you're a massive Forshaw fan. Let's talk about him first. How impressive was he in those 70 minutes that he played?
Oh, certainly was brilliant again today. Even if he started to run out of steam a bit, because this international break, we just seem to, we never do. It's like I am not a fan of. I'm not a big fan of the international break because I'm not really a fan of international football and what.
None of us are, mate. None of us
even
are.
if you got Calvin playing for England, Bamford, even that time Bamford was playing for England, and Bamford is my favourite player currently, and I didn't even bother then. I didn't even see any of the games in the Euros either. Not even Alioski when he was still with us at that particular time. Anyway, I'm going off the subject a little bit, but yeah, international breaks always break our momentum. Remember the international break after the Watford game? That didn't help us because we then had to get Rafinha back, and he didn't end up playing. And again, he's picked up some kind of illness. I think someone said he had I can't remember who it was. I think it was on Joe. Someone said on Joe's stream that Rafinha had a stomach ache or some kind of stomach bug or something like that. But yeah, international breaks are a bugger for us because almost always someone gets injured, whether it be Calvin, Diego. We thought we'd got through that all okay when we heard Bielsa's press conference the other day.
Yeah, no, it's gutting. I think that made a big difference today, to be honest, John. I think we had that game finished in the first half with Rafinha or Rodrigo on that pitch, especially Rafinha. You know, you look at the space we had against that Tottenham team, him up against Eric Dyer. It only goes one way for me, that first half. And I think we're that far ahead in the game that it doesn't matter that we drop off a little bit second half. What about you, mate?
No, absolutely. Rafinha would have just had Dyer in the bin completely. Yeah. I still remember the Allen Road game last season, right after the ESL fallout and all that crap. And Bamford just had Dyer in the bin completely all game long.
Yeah, no, totally, mate. But anyone else impress you today?
Yeah, Dan James. Good to see Jack Harrison getting back to his best as well. And especially that one assist they provided. He was dribbling more as well, taking on players. And yes, the way he and they did beat, I can't remember which Spurs player it was, but the one when he set up Dan James's goal, that is the Jack Harrison that we know and love. And that's the one that we've been missing so much this season. So it's good to see him getting back to his best as well. And now that Dan James has got his goal, he's right after he's got his goal, you could see his tail was up, and he was starting to pull off a lot more good shots and improving his cross. His crossing's still got some work to do, but now that he's got his goal, he can build up onwards and upwards.
Forced a great save off the Leeds as well at 1-0 that second half before Tottenham did get back into it. But I don't know about you, Chris. I agree with John there. I've not seen Dan James take that many shots in a game all season for us. He must have had about 5-6 shots on goals today, and a lot of them on target as well. Encouraging to see that maybe he's got a bit more, I wouldn't say hunger. I think every player on the pitch wants to score a goal, but I think he's got a little bit more confidence to try things.
Yeah, I think the one positive of the ever dull and irritating international break is that DJ went and had a really good one with Wales, and he looks to have brought that back to Leeds. It was always going to take a bit of time. I mean, fans were writing him off after a couple of games.
Well, he scored and got an assist, didn't he, for Wales, I believe. Not that I'm massive on the international footy, but I believe that is the case.
Yeah, I think so, mate. Yeah, I know he definitely got an assist, but that's the player we paid £25 million for. That's the player that Marcelo Bielsa has wanted for 2.5 years. Do you know what I mean? And every game, Dan James will get better and better. And you bring Rafinha back in, Jack Harrison starts to hit form again, and then put Patrick Bamford at the front of that. And that is a formidable front four, one that a lot of teams in that league would really envy. So there are positives. We just need to get our big game players back. We really do, to supplement players coming back into form like Jack and DJ. So there are positives there. If we want Bielsa to be in charge of this club, we have to accept that he wants a small squad. We can't have both. So we've just got to, as much as it's fucking irritating, we've just got to suck it up.
But I will say again, I think I've made this argument to you before, and it's not necessarily something I totally believe. In any case, I'm a bit neutral on the thing about in terms of squad depth and that lot. But all I say is that we want Joffrey to get some minutes. We want Dramé to get some minutes. We want Cresswell to get some minutes. We want Somerville to get some minutes. All these players. If we did say, for example, in January, go mad and decides, okay, we want to sign 3 or 4 either first teamers, bench players, want to sign another goalkeeper, want to sign another midfielder, defender, striker. You just won't see these players get the minutes, Gelhardt and that lot. And then it'll almost make... And I'm not saying...
Let's be honest, Oscar, you probably won't see 3 of those 4 players that we sign get minutes because of the way Bielsa beds a player into his squad.
No, that's true.
Apart from if it wasn't for injuries, we wouldn't have seen as much of Dan James yet as we have. But
yeah.
He was forced in because of everything else that was going on. Rafa being injured, Jack then getting ill, I think it was, stuff like that. That's the only reason Dan James was in so early. We'd probably only just be seeing him now game on game without having to use him. So we're never going to go and sign 3-4 players in the January transfer window, are we? I think we'll bring one in. I think we'll bring a midfielder in. But I think that'll be it.
I think the connection seems to be going.
They seem okay to me, mate. There you go. I was going to say a big thank you to Love Leeds, who've become a member of the channel. Why not join us on this post-match? You've been lot of good thoughts in the comments, and a big thank you as well. Massive thank you for a lovely donation as well from Love Leeds. Fantastic stuff. Thanks so much. But yeah, why not join us in this chat as well if you are available? Love Leeds. Thank you very much for your support anyway. But absolutely love that. John, I mean, I've already said to Michael that for Rafinha and Rodrigo to come in, obviously 2 players will have to come out unless we're going to play 12 men against Brighton, which obviously we can't do. Who comes out for you to make space for Rodrigo and Rafinha?
Oh, crikey, that's quite a hard one. I think the first, the first easy swap is Klich. It wasn't terrible today, Klich was, but he were okay because he did come back and pick up the ball a few times. Calvin and Declan Forshaw, as I like to start calling him now, because
Declan Forshaw.
Yeah, Declan Forshaw. But yeah, they really did have that control, which allowed Klich to obviously go on and probably be more threatening. And yeah, maybe he is struggling with fitness, but yeah, he's still not really back at it. He wasn't as bad as he has been, but still nowhere near what we have become accustomed to him. Maybe whether it's like age, maybe getting to him because he'll be 32 next year, wrong side of 30. Or if he's like still trying to get his fitness back from COVID, etc. We don't know, but yeah, we need our clutch players, as we like to call them, and Rodrigo and his relationship with Rafinha is always key. The hard decision is going to be over Jack and Dan James, who would come out if we would get Rafinha back in. Then of course maybe you'd have the case for maybe putting one of them in the 10 again. But then, of course, if you want to get Rodrigo back, that all of a sudden that does open up a few dilemmas. But one part I did hear you earlier talking about, something I remember Connor talking about last year, is maybe having having Jack Harrison playing as a left wing back, because I think that's originally how he started off his career. And I think when Bielsa took Jack Harrison, and Pep said to it, I think it was Connor who said Pep said he was good as a left back, and Jack does have those good defensive qualities. He's not as pacey, but he's definitely no slouch either, and he could probably bomb on and overlap with Dan James on the left hand side. But then of course Virgil van Strelk, he's been playing good at left back. So
very true.
Does really give you a few dilemmas.
But that's good. It's good dilemmas though, and I just want to. I think Kyle's been harsh here. I don't think Tottenham are that overrated. I think Conte. You got to look at what he's achieved in his career. I think calling Conte overrated is harsh in my opinion. He's won the Premier League. He's won trophies, hasn't he? It's a bit harsh that myself, Kyle.
He must be on a Man United. He must think he's on a Man United chat. He's probably talking about Ole the Adept.
Well, yeah, that's. It's an interesting one, that, isn't it? It's an interesting one. That makes it a bit sadder today, though, doesn't it? Obviously, Solskjaer going, just because, it just does, doesn't it?
I thought we could have had a minute's silence at the start of this. I'm devastated.
You know what happened as well? Carrick will thrash Villarreal, and then he'll just get roped into it full time. He'll become a victim of his own success bouts, even if it's just a caretaker manager. Or even better, why not get Hockaday in, or Neil Warnock? Can you imagine Neil Warnock turning up at Old Trafford and try to reassemble the Sheffield United team?
Perfection that'll be. Big thanks again to Lovely. It's absolutely fantastic. Thanks so much for your support. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But yeah, I mean, are you worried, John, at all?
Nah, it's just.
I don't mean in life in general. It's been in terms of Leeds, by the way. That's sounding like quite an open-ended question. That
we're having to deal with the wrath of the media all the time. And all the doom and gloomers who only see like a couple of minutes of the highlights on like Match of the Day, but they're always like cutting out all the important good aspects of our play, and they'll probably just like cut straight to the Dan James goal and just edit it just to make it look like it was some kind of fluky goal. It's obviously they'll do just some kind of like dodgy editing job just to bury us, just so they can like. Get there just so they can like, oh, Conte's the saviour, blah blah blah, Conte. Whereas like people will forget we bossed that first half.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're of the same opinion as me, John, but I think because I'm going to shamelessly say again, I think that penalty handball decision, because Harry Kane is the golden boy of England, they were never ever going to give that penalty. Even though it wasn't a penalty, it still should have been given, because Harry Kane is just the biggest stat pad that going, isn't he?
No, exactly. Because obviously if that hand wasn't there, that shot from Joffrey, it was going in. No question about it. Absolutely no question about it.
Denying a goal scoring opportunity, I believe. Red card. There you go.
Oh, can you imagine if the referee actually did that one day, sending off Harry Kane? There'll be a backlash from all the from pundits like Gobby saying, "Oh, bro, what have you sent off Kane? He's our captain. What have you sent off?" I don't know if that's a Gobby impersonation or if he sounds anything like that, but I can imagine it that's exactly how he'd be carrying on if Kane had got sent off for a hamper.
But anyway, any Spurs fans are watching this and thinking being serious, this is tongue-in-cheek. It is entirely tongue-in-cheek what I've just said there. It wasn't a penalty, but I'm still annoyed about it because I'm just annoyed about football at this moment in time and life in general. But anyway, John, absolute legend as always. Any last thoughts before I let you go, man?
Yeah. I still think we can get something in December, because obviously if we've got Forshaw in midfield, if he stays fit, gets up to fitness, and especially now that we've got a nice run of fixtures coming up. In fact, the upcoming big week game against Palace, that's probably got some championship vibes, so that'll be another good game for him to help continue getting back up to full fitness. But Brighton is definitely winnable. Get Forshaw in there, have him and Calvin control midfield, get Rafinha back in with any luck, or if not, have Dan James and Jack Harrison put in another solid performance, or either get unleash Joffrey on Brighton's defence now that they haven't got Ben White there. Forshaw or KP will pocket Bazuma, and I'll keep 𝐁𝐿 quiet, because 𝐁𝐿's always got a habit of scoring against us, even if he didn't last season.
The thought of 𝐁𝐿 scoring against us is just enough.
Yeah, he was just such a trolley.
Chris, don't respect. He's wanting the response. He's wanting the response.
We don't respond. Learn to watch football more than just when it's on Match of the Day. Basically,
he's wanting the response.
Oh, he's getting a response. I have my fill with trolls. Do my head in absolute peanuts. Go and play on a Wolves side.
It's still bitter about that point that we took off them. It's still bitter about that point we took off them.
Yeah, probably, and yeah, it's just. I don't know what was the thought process behind typing that. I just don't know. I just don't know. But unless you do really think Sam Allardyce and Warnock should be in charge. I mean, Warnock's had a go at Leeds, and it didn't go well. Let's just say that it didn't go very well.
They're calling for a reason, and I'll let you go and work out the reason why that was.
I know Tongue is well into his 30s now, but he can still do a job for us. Paddy Kenny, he can still do a job for us. Oh, Brownie, yeah, I know you're nearly 40, but he can still do a job for us.
That was it, wasn't it?
Gang back together.
Can still do a job.
Can
still do a job. But yeah,
that was his favourite. That was his favourite quote. Do a job. Do a job.
Do a job.
Going back to a more serious though. Yeah, coming back to a more serious though. I would like to see us get 7 points in his next 3 games, because Brighton is. We can at least get a draw if we can control the game, what have you. Because we can. That is definitely doable. We can break the Brighton curse if we get a win. Even better, break that Brighton curse. Palace, we can nullify the CG word. Just make sure Forshaw is fit, and he'll be nullifying the CG word. And Diego just pockets Zaha. Palace don't have a very good defensive, because even Burnley was scoring against them. Brentford are going way off the boil. We can beat them as well. And it'd be nice to get the old mind the gap Thomas Frank chant going up again.
I love that. But as long as Maupay doesn't score against us, I don't care. I do care, but as long as that doesn't happen, we can win the game like 4-1 against Brighton on Saturday. If Maupay scores, I'll still come in there and I'll be in the mood. I'll still be in the mood. I mean, Chris agrees with me. He is a...
That man, you know, from that, he just
boils my troll.
He just loves it as well. He lives for it. I mean, you'd love to have him in your team just because he just winds everyone up, but he just loves getting under people's skin, doesn't he? But he's such a... Anyway, John, absolute legend as always, man. We'll let you back in when we beat Brighton on Saturday, and Neal Maupay gets sent off. Is what we can hope for. Or an own goal, or miss the penalty, whatever it takes, just as long as that happens. Anyway, I'm going to let you go, mate. Absolute legend as always.
Cheers, guys. Have a good evening.
See you later, man.
Ta.
I've got one more absolute legend of the All These TV post-match streams. It is Ethan. Ethan, apologies for keeping you waiting there, mate, but we had a lot of people in the chat, which is always great to see. Thoughts, mate? Obviously, you got a smile on your face. That tells me that you're not too bothered by this today in terms of performance.
No, I'm not. We're always talking about Gaha in our good. Gaha.
Yeah, 𝐃𝐈𝐒 was good, wasn't he?
What?
𝐃𝐈𝐒 was good.
Yeah, he was.
Good.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
It's good to see him. And big thanks again to Love Leeds for your support. Thanks so much for your support. Absolutely unreal. And I hope you're enjoying this. Anyway. Our Neil Warnock impressions and just general Harry Kane bashing.
Yeah, Harry Kane will go. 𝐾𝐘 in our good.
I mean, yeah, Kane is a slight positive that he didn't score, because I know how much Chris is not a fan of Mr. Kane's either. I certainly know that from the Euros, to be fair.
He's overrated, mate.
He is overrated. But Ethan, anyone else impress you today? Anyone else particularly stand out?
𝐾𝐾 to me.
Stroud?
Yeah, he got Nukanova to me.
Yeah, he did. I thought he did a good job at left back. I mean, it's a strange one. We've almost got used to it after 2 games of him playing left back, even though he's never played there before, as far as I'm aware, for the under 23s. Never mind the first team, but fall short today as well, mate. He was good.
Yeah, he was.
45 minutes for the 23s once.
Did they? What, 5 minutes?
45 minutes he played at left back once for the 23s, and apparently he was shocking.
I'd love to know who was on the right wing against him.
Yeah, who would it?
Oh, come on, Chris. You give me played 45 minutes. No, you don't know who he played against. We'll just say he played against Phil. Phil, say he played against Phil.
Yeah, prime Messi, that's why he looked bad. Messi tipped up.
The Gipton Messi.
It's better than the Gipton-Peter Andre.
I'm still proud of that one. The Gipton-Peter Andre. It was the speed that came to me that I was proud of. I was getting wild up in that stream, wasn't he? But make sure you check out Phil's player ratings, which will be tomorrow evening. Check that out, guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done already, and you will be able to check that out tomorrow, the player ratings. Ethan, Forshaw, I thought was good today as well. Another good performance from him.
Yeah. He got going. He had to got going.
Yeah, he dominated midfield. I think Chris has already alluded to he played deeper as well, and I think obviously tired a bit quicker because he having to do a bit more work in front of him. But very positive in that kind of sense.
Yeah.
Ethan, I mean, are you feeling good going into these next 3, 4, 5 games?
Yeah, of course. We're good against Tottenham.
Yeah, we were good against Tottenham. I mean, playing these teams that I wouldn't say lesser teams because anyone could beat you in the Premier League.
Yeah, everyone
but
could beat.
These are more winnable, aren't they? These games coming up, they're more. Yeah. I personally think we've got better quality than a lot of these teams that we're playing next. Certainly Brentford, and I'd argue Brighton as well. In all honesty.
Yeah.
And that's not me saying we're a better team than Brighton. That's just me saying that individually, I think we have got better players in most areas when we've got our strongest 11 on the pitch. But Ethan, any other thoughts on the game in general? I mean, obviously the goals we let in, just
lucky,
weren't they?
All goal. 𝐾𝐾 on Tottenham together. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only way Tottenham could beat us. Really, it's just so frustrating, so frustrating. But just one last question, Ethan, before I let you go, mate. Assuming Rafinha and Rodrigo are back available for the Brighton game, who comes out to make space for those two players?
We're going to 𝐾 and 𝐂𝐻. 𝐾, he was okay today. 𝐂𝐻, he was really good today. We have to go. Got into the garden.
So 𝐂𝐃 come out for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people agree with that. To be fair, I think most people agree with that. But Ethan, great to see you in good spirits as always, mate. Great to see you happy. Because I you know what, when they probably come off this stream, think a bit more about the game, maybe watch the match of the day. I realised that there was a lot of positives from this today. There were a lot more positives than there were negatives, and as Neil Warnock would say, take positives out of that, lads. Take positives out of that one. But yeah, Ethan, absolute legend as always, mate. Hopefully we'll have you back on when we beat Brighton next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday. Yeah.
Love that. Are we beating Brighton next Saturday?
Go.
We're beating Brighton on Saturday, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Love that. Love the positivity. But Ethan, absolute legend as always, mate. I'm going to let you go. Absolute legend. And hope you have a great week before that Brighton game anyway, mate.
Thank you.
See you later, man.
Yeah,
mate.
But that's another one. That's another one. Perfect. If you've watched the Walnut documentary, we're in London, aren't we? Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect for that. Dear me, Chris. But take positives out of that. We'll be all right there, won't we, Chris?
I think so, mate. Like I say, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a bit of a long season, I think. But I think we've got enough. If we can just get those players back and keep enough decent quality fit for the remainder of the season, then I think we'll be okay. I do. I've seen enough positives now. Certainly the Leicester performance, and probably over the 90 today, 60 minutes or so of today's performance, where I'm like, I can see enough there that we're going in the right direction. But it's not like the first few games of the season where we were sat going, this isn't the Leeds United that I'm used to. What is going on performance-wise? We're now seeing the performances come back. So get that extra quality back in the squad, your Rafinhas, your Bamfords, your Rodrigos, your Luke Aylins, and we'll start to pick up points. I do think that, and I don't think December will be quite as bad for us as we're probably all dreading. I mean, like I said, it could be, but hopefully we'll pick up the odd point here and there, and then all of a sudden we're coming out into New Year feeling a bit brighter, aren't we? So we'll see.
No, I agree. I mean,
I'm 50-50, mate, on whether to be worried or completely relaxed that this will be okay. It changes minute to minute.
Be worried and relaxed at the same time.
Yeah.
Relaxed but on edge. That's the best word for it. But on edge.
At the end of the day, mate, as 99% of people are in the chat, we've all supported Leeds United a long time, and we know it's never easy and it's never a smooth ride supporting this club, and this season's going to be no different. We got let off last season with not being in the ground and us cruising to ninth. We had an off season for Leeds United where we did really well without much drama.
We were consistent.
Yeah.
End of the day, as long as Neil Maupay doesn't score against us next Saturday, we can all be happy.
I'm calling it.
But we'll leave it there anyway, guys.
I'm retiring from everything. I'm just going to go sit in a dark corner.
It would be the low of the season, wouldn't it? But anyway, I love that match of the day more like edit of the day.
I don't watch it.
It will be interesting.
I don't watch it unless we've won.
Well, yeah, I'll probably watch it tonight because it was, I don't know.
However, I did watch last night because that was like comedy gold, watching them get stuffed 4-1.
It's improved my mood. But unfortunately, it's one of those, we've won, but at what cost in terms of Solskjaer getting sacked. But anyway, sad news to hack off.
I was sad about it till I learned that Carrick's taking the
Well, yeah. Carrick's going to start next game, apparently, I heard. Anyway, we'll leave it there, guys. Just come up to an hour and 15. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Still over 100 of you in the chat. Thanks so much for your support. And we'll leave it there anyway. We'll leave it there. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to do a quick post-match reaction, 10-minute, quick, bite-sized post-match reaction. And as I said, Phil's will be doing his player ratings tomorrow. Keep it locked, guys. We'll soon be next Saturday when we beat Brighton. See you later, guys. Cheers for watching.